Hey everyone, and welcome to MultiverseMedia. I'm Asher, and today we're gonna talk about a future superhero team that seems to be coming to the MCU. I'm talking about the Thunderbolts. Before we get started, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help our channel grow. In the MCU, Thaddeus Ross is simply an old man with some heart problems, but it does seem that he has been aching to create his own team of Avengers since he first encountered the likes of the Hulk, all the way back during the events of the Incredible Hulk. Thaddeus Ross has since been featured several times in the MCU. Next, as the government official who introduces the Avengers to the Sokovia Accords in Captain America Civil War. Then again in Avengers Infinity War, where he tries to get War Machine to arrest Captain America's secret Avengers. Finally, he appears at Tony Stark's funeral at the end of Avengers Endgame. The next time we will see him will be in Black Widow, where it seems we will be seeing him in several different points in time, seeing as he has been digitally de-aged significantly in parts of the trailer. The rumor is that Black Widow will conclude with Ross recruiting both Yelena Boleva and Taskmaster to start his team of Thunderbolts. The question remains, who will be the MCU's Thunderbolts? Let's talk about that. Let's start with the most likely candidates. First, we have Yelena Boleva and Taskmaster. Given they will both be sharing the big screen with Ross, I imagine that he will see their worth and bring them into the Thunderbolts. In the comics, Boleva is a member of the Thunderbolts, and Taskmaster is willing to work for anyone paying. We also have Zemo, who is set to star in the Disney Plus series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Zemo is a well-known member of the Thunderbolts in the comics, and in the MCU has a huge vendetta against the Avengers, blaming them for his family's death in Sokovia. Next is Ghost, who you might remember from Ant-Man and the Wasp. A killer assassin with the ability to phase through her enemies would make a welcome addition to Ross's team. She also used to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. doing their dirty work, so it isn't work she wouldn't be used to. You might remember Batroc the Leaper from his fight at the beginning of Captain America the Winter Soldier. He hasn't been seen since, until recently when he was spotted on the set of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Could he be working with Zemo? If so, it's fairly likely he will go on to join the Thunderbolts with him. Now, here we have two new characters being introduced in Phase 4, Songbird and Trickshot. Songbird is heavily rumored to be in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Trickshot is heavily rumored to be in the Hawkeye series, and both are well-known members of the Thunderbolts in the comics. Let's talk about some other members of the Thunderbolts that are less likely to join but shouldn't be ruled out. Looking back to the Incredible Hulk again, there were two characters in that film that are well-seasoned members of the Thunderbolts, and they are the Abomination and the Leader. Although we haven't seen these characters in over 10 years, it doesn't mean they should be ruled out yet. There haven't been many opportunities to bring them back in the MCU since Marvel was unable to make a second Hulk film, but with the Disney Plus She-Hulk series on the way, we could see a resurgence in some of Hulk's former enemies. Depending on what's bringing this group together, Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, could also join the team. Although reformed in the MCU, if the missions were dire enough, Barnes would join the fight even if he had vendettas with many members of the team. The only reason I didn't put Barnes as likely is because he seems like he will have his hands full working with Sam in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Another character from over 10 years ago that could make his return is Justin Hammer. Thwarted at the end of Iron Man 2, he ends up in prison, but who's to say Ross won't bail him out to make some off-brand Stark tech for the team? The main reason he isn't super likely is because Sam Rockwell is a major talent, and if they wanted him back, they likely would have had him back by now. Finally, let's talk about some members that are the least likely to join, but not impossible. Crossbones in the comics is a staple member of the Thunderbolts, but in the MCU, he met his end during a failed suicide mission. Now, we could see a return of Crossbones, perhaps someone new taking on the moniker, or maybe Rumlow somehow survived the explosion that seemingly killed him. I mean, he survived being hit with a helicarrier, then having a building dropped on him, so who's to say he couldn't have survived being blown up? But in reality, he most likely did not survive. With Marvel Studios gaining the rights back to nearly all of its characters, we could potentially see Ghost Rider or Punisher join the team. Previously, a part of the non-MCU canon series of TV shows, they never got to interact with any of our mainstage heroes. An interesting way to introduce them to the MCU could be pitting them against the heroes they never got to meet, as members of the Thunderbolts. The members we are least likely to see join the Thunderbolts are none other than Deadpool and Agent Venom. Deadpool is seemingly on his way to the MCU, with rumors of him being signed on to a huge contract, but one would think that Deadpool would know better than to team up with a bunch of obvious supervillains. Yes, he does in the comics, but from what we've seen in the movies, Deadpool's more of a hero than he lets on. As for Agent Venom, we actually have no information yet as to how he will connect to the MCU. We know at some point Venom will cross paths with Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the Spumk, but will we see the character be folded into the main MCU? If he was, it would bring us a step closer to becoming Agent Venom, and I could see him working with the Thunderbolts if given the right reason. What do you guys think? Anyone else you would like to see join the Thunderbolts? Be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment your thoughts below. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you all next time.